Go nice and close and then back up and put the board up there. You're real nice and close to all those lines. The subject today is the repair of Cowl Sag, where the cowl is low and the front is high on a 71 Chevy Camaro. The way we have to tie the car down is you have to have the bull-ring set in mounted in concrete. You have to have anchors to tie the car down in the front and tie the car down in the rear. Once you achieve that tie in bow and arrow type style, you have the car anchored on both ends, there and there. Use this floor jack, and we will jack it up right here at the lowest point where the cowl sits low. We'll jack it up here, underneath further, obviously not on the rocker. We'll jack it up on the frame underneath there, with the car tied in the rear and the car tied in the front. So we'll get started. Here's our floor mounting anchor points. These are the two most rear ones. These are the secondary two most side ones. Their first set of side ones. Here's our set of forward ones. They're in an octagon shape, like a stop sign shape. Put these in here. This is a little short of a vehicle to use the front ones with the very rear ones. What we'll do is we will use the wide set of rear ones and the very front one to hold down the front of the car, and this is to hold down the rear of the car. Okay, anyway, I'm going to tie this. There's a nice loop around the front of the frame here. I can just hook into this loop right here. Make a nice solid anchor point. We'll get the rear tied. We'll tie it around the leaf spring here, and we'll barber pole tie it. We'll wrap it around this leaf spring a few times. The purpose of barber pole tying it like this is to not put shock on any one pull point. Whole point. This distributes the holding power of the chain. Say like you're not noose tying it. to put in a position to, like I say, raise this part of the car while the two ends are tied down. Get the smaller jack underneath here, kind of get some clearance for that bigger jack to fit, and it'll also help in raising it up. Everything seems to be holding nicely. Okay, actually it seems like the cowl is getting a good bow to it. It's getting high there, so we'll just jack it up a little more. We got enough pressure on it now. It appears that the fender's in a slight bit blind right now. There's so much down action on it. We will see what it is when we let her off. Definitely got a nice wider line there. The bottom is still a little wide, but what I'll do is I will disconnect the bottom of the fender there from the cowl. Then we'll jack her up and we'll we'll position it back on there with it jack tight. Do it one more time. Frame, the body there. Now it's tight. Some support. Sit on some. Here, if you notice, the lines here on the front of the door to the fender are nice and uniform. These lines here are much more uniform too, and the header panel, the front edge of the hood, and this bumper is fits much more proper around the header panel there. Anyway, and that is the conclusion of the '71 Camaro Cowl Sag.